Selecting a stream is the first occasion when you get the opportunity to make an important life decision for yourself. It is when you get to set the course of not only your next 2 years, but your future career and professional life too. While you may hear that you should make a choice carefully after evaluating your interest, your abilities, it isn't always as easy as it seems. A lack of information, self-awareness, clarity or guidance make mistakes all too common at this stage. So being mindful of this fact, you may wonder how you can avoid making them all together. The first thing is knowing what these mistakes are can surely help. And in this video particularly, I'm going to share about 5 students who made mistakes in the choice of stream and what we can actually learn from them. Hi, I'm Akshay Jalan, and having worked as a senior project manager at IIT Bombay for a decade, I got the experience of interacting with numerous students, and also working as a career counselor. I've interacted with a lot of students and helped them to identify which stream, which subjects that they need to choose. And I see that many times students, because of not having the complete information, they get into the wrong stream, and especially because of the societal norms of choosing science for those students who have very good marks, and average mark students should choose commerce and below average humanities. These kind of myths are prevailing in the society, which is actually resulting in students choosing the wrong stream, or even just based on marks or aptitude, but not holistically understanding that what different factors need to be considered actually lead them to wrong stream choices. So I'm sure you've gone through my video where I've explained about the 3 streams in detail, and you've understood about which stream will lead to what kind of opportunities and what is the benefit of them. And now in this video, I'm going to share about the mistakes that you should avoid, or the lessons which you can learn from top 5 students that I interacted with. And in my survey or interaction that I was doing in my initial days, I interacted with these students and came to know about the challenges that they actually went through because of not choosing the correct stream. So we can learn from their mistakes definitely, and this is what this video is going to all about. And but before we move ahead, I would like to share that I conduct a webinar where I help the students and the parents to crack the career code. So you can register for this webinar by going on jakshay.com or conversionhub.com, where you will learn not only about how to choose the right career, the role of parents, but also about the right mindset and the skill set that can help you achieve success in the 21st century. So what are you waiting for? Please go to this link, jakshay.com, jakshay.com, and register for the webinar, and I'll see you there live. So let's begin. So it's a very good point to learn from other experiences. So basically on our scriptures, they say that there are 2 ways to learn. One is by hearing and one is by experience. So here is an opportunity to hear and learn from that without experiencing the mistakes ourselves, which is more intelligent, right? So let's get into the first story. So Meera is an all-rounder and had a perfect school record. House captain in a school, an apple of her every teacher's eyes. She had always been very confident, high-spirited and focused. Because of her excellent academic record, she never felt the need to ponder over a stream choice and decided to go with PCM on the basis of her scores. So Meera's father tried to advise her to slow down and think before choosing, but she in her overconfidence took the decision. As class 11th proceeded, she found that she couldn't understand concepts and started mugging up steps. Slowly, she started losing confidence in herself and a loss of focus on studies. The final blow came when she scored terribly low in her half-yearly examination. It took a lot of introspection to realize that it was all because she had selected the wrong stream for herself. The point was driven home when she overheard a psychology lecture passing by a class and couldn't feeling fascinated by what was being taught. So what did you learn from this story? The syllabus still stands standard is built keeping in mind every student's aptitude. The concepts are taught at a more basic level and are not an accurate reflection of what you will study in class 11th and 12th. Sometimes students, when they score very good marks in science, they feel, in class 10th, okay, then science is the best option for me. But it's not true. Because selecting a stream solely on the basis of marks in class 10 is like playing by fluke. Because there's a huge difference between 10th and 11th. Second point is explore all your options. So being patient and introspective is equally important as being hardworking and sincere. So because of Meera's lack of patience and low self-awareness, she landed herself in an unwanted mess. So take time off and make efforts to not only understand about your academic scores, but also explore your interest, personality and aptitude instead of rushing into things. And for that, you can take help of tools that we have at CVH like psychometry and astrology. And you can know more about them by going to jakshay.com/service. Then comes Raghav, second story. So Raghav was an average student in his school, but his only dream was to make it big. So because of the limited reach of his awareness, he felt that there were only 2 ways he could achieve success: by being a doctor or being an engineer. He knew he couldn't fare well in mathematics, so went with only other option, science with biology. He put his blood and sweat into his high school studies and medical exam preparation and did coaching, took private tuitions, but was still unable to score well enough to land into a good college. Ultimately, his parents paid copious amounts of money to get him admitted to a private institute. Upon entering medical school, he realized that he didn't enjoy it as much much as he had led himself to believe. He felt he couldn't get out of it now, so he continued to put in efforts half-heartedly. Today he owns a clinic with a shining degree hanging on the wall, but Raghav accepts that he was made for something else and wishes somebody would have guided him at the right time. So this is an example of someone, getting into the PCB stream and, not aligning himself with his interest. Now, actually Raghav is, trying to explore and find out what he could do, what better options will be there for him, and, he's trying to change his career option. But imagine that, he has spent those 5 rigorous years of going through a course, especially MBBS, which he was not aligned with. So what did you learn from Raghav's story? First is, a limited outlook of career options can prevent you from choosing a best suited stream and career. It is quite natural at this stage, when you are in class 9 or 10, to only know of a handful of careers you might have heard being mentioned around you. That is why it is important to take the initiative to learn about career options. Okay. Second is, don't be blindly fixated upon being successful. First, learn about how you define success, because success is very individual for everyone. The definition. What is success for me will be different for you. A success is the success for the school teacher who actually wanted to be the school teacher. A success is that success for those women who wanted to actually become a homemaker and take care of children. So she's feeling successful in that because she actually wanted that. So what is actually that you want, and that will actually define success for you, and not success that is defined by others, instead of adopting others' ideas as your own. Also, there are more than one path to reach the same type of success to find out which one works for you. And then is consult an expert. So parents may not always be in a position to direct you on the right path. So Raghav's parents, despite his poor result, insisted him to pursue medical and didn't convince him to try an alternate path. So even if they have your best interest in mind, parents may have their own biases, and it's best to consult someone neutral and knowledgeable like a counselor. Let's come to the third story. Third is Sanjana. Sanjana was a born dancer. Her body matched rhythm and swayed to the beats since she was a small child. She had represented her school at national platforms and had accolades from peers and teachers. But the story at her home were different, where she was told that dance, drama and music should be limited to being hobbies and she should make something out of herself through academics. Her mother told her about her cousins doing well as lawyers, doctors and managers. So hearing the stories over and over again, Sanjana internalized that she could make her parents proud only if she pursued those mainstream paths. So she shifted her focus towards becoming a lawyer and took up the commerce stream. While studying commerce, she often struggled with the concepts and even clear it after much effort and hard work. She couldn't clear law entrances also. Realizing the folly of her actions, she tried to step back into her dancing shoes but found that people were already miles ahead of her. So what did you learn? So don't think about pleasing others. That is the first lesson. And live your dreams, not others. And find out what makes you happy instead of realizing her interest. She became fodder to her parents' dream. So, we may think if there is an alignment between both the things, there is some commonality, then we could find out some alignment. But parents should also understand that if the child is actually going to pursue something, which she doesn't like, then in the long run it will backfire and she will not be able to perform well. And that will, also, upset the parents, because they will also feel sad when the child is not able to perform in a particular stream. So we need to understand this very, very important thing, that we cannot judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. A fish is meant to be in the water and it can do well in that area. That is what we need to understand and apply. So coming back to this point is that while parents never stopped her from becoming a dancer, they indirectly pressured her into making her go into mainstream careers which were not suitable for her. Then came nurture exceptional talents. If you have exceptional talents, value and nurture them, as they can help you stand out from others. So Sarjana failed to realize the magic of her own because she did not get validation from parents. So in one of our courses, we have career care blueprint, where in detail we have explained about how to deal with the parental influence. Okay, you can consider going through this video if you have not already gone through, or you can consider purchasing this course if you don't have access to this particular course on career care blueprint. Then comes the fourth lesson from Aman. So Aman was a popular kid at his school and brilliant both academically and socially. He had inherited remarkable mathematical and business management skills from his father. But his desire was to stand out from the crowd, and he, being different, had become an obsession for him. So much so that he felt that commerce, which he was a natural fit, would make him similar to most kids in his school who dreamt of becoming businessmen. So for the purpose of setting himself apart and just sounding different, he took up humanities to pursue further literature. So once he was inside, Aman could get through the different ways of writing, poetry and the complexities of characters, as well as he found it difficult to understand about the political science, history, etc. or relate to them. All of this used to bore him, which further led to a loss of interest. After stumbling through for a year, he realized how illogical his thinking was back then in just trying to be different in just any random way, and that actually backfired, and he's now trying to figure out the next step. So what are the learnings from this story? So being different is wonderful, but the uniqueness should be represented through your personality and not your choices. Second is social validation is important, but you should understand where to draw the line. Aman opted for a stream just to be the talk among his friends and relatives and didn't realize how much it would tamper in the future. So, just because we want social validation, social appreciation, we should not choose a stream. Last but not the least, we have the story of Gauri. So Gauri was a very diligent student who never gave up on anything. She was a very hard worker and made her pass through her class 10th exam with ease. When it came to stream selection, she was confused between humanities and commerce. So somewhere she knew humanities was her thing, she still opted for commerce. She had convinced herself that she should try her hand at commerce since humanities can be pursued even later on. Her best friend tried to guide her to, that you can go to career experts for advice. But she thought it was a waste of time or money. And as the year went by, she performed well in her classes and assignments, though it took her double the effort to achieve the results. Every time the pressure took a toll on her, she convinced herself that the good things come the hard way. But when the board result came, she was shocked to see that she had merely scored 80%. That is the day she recalled her best friend's advice about consulting a counselor and wondered how things could have been different. Today, after completing her 12th, she is pursuing a course in humanities, but not in a college which was suited to her caliber. So, what do you learn from this story? First is, however you may try, you cannot force your interest or aptitude. Hard work and efforts are important, but they bear more fruits when you actually put them in the right direction. That's very, very important. अगर आपको शिप को दिल्ली की तरफ लेके जाना है, तो उधर के तरफ ही आपको एफर्ट लगाना पड़ेगा, right? You cannot put effort in the different direction. That's what was happening with Gauri. Second is, it's not necessary to select things which may seem difficult. Great things are not always achieved through a grind. Sometimes the best options are right in front of us, but we fail to pay heed to them. And third, don't underestimate the benefits of help and guidance. Gauri would have fared much better and saved 2 years had she taken an expert opinion. Also, it would have been possible for her in those 2 years to study maybe humanities and land up into a better college, into a better course of her choice. So smart people are those who observe others' mistakes and learn from them. So are you smart? So we all have or will come across the crossroads of selecting a stream for higher studies. It is very quite possible that the choice will not be very clear crystal in your head. Remember that you don't have to fall prey to the same errors these 5 students made if you just take up a logical approach. And it's alright to go down a road less taken or choose something that feels right to you. Just make sure you're making a choice after proper planning, research and guidance, avoiding becoming a victim of parental or peer pressure also. And just for social validation or showing off or just choosing something which is very common could also be dangerous. And these principles will apply to you even if you've already chosen the stream, you're looking at the next career option for you or the next possible choice for you. Please keep in mind these pitfalls that the students went into. So a great person once said that smart people are those who observe others' mistakes and learn from them. It's time to shake things up and play the smart. So I hope you found this video valuable, and if you did, please press the like button, share this video with your friends, colleagues or even other parents who you think may be benefited from the content of this video. And if you are regularly watching our videos, you can subscribe to this channel so that the next update comes to you. If not, if this is the first video you're watching, then please go and check other videos. And if you find this content on our channel meaningful, please go and support us by subscribing to this channel, liking the video and sharing it with your friends. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in another video soon. All the best.